welcome to Education Today. I'm Brandon Lee.
And I'm Kaylin Goldinger, and we are seniors from Katanning High School in Armstrong School District.
To start today's show, we have two very special guests with us, Mr. Kevin Landstrom and Mrs. Alyssa Miller.
Both are employees from Armstrong District, coaches of Katanning High School track and field teams.
Welcome to Education Today. Would you please introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Kevin Landstrom.
And Alyssa Miller.
How long have you been coaches at track and field?
I've been coaching 3 years as an assistant and 3 years as a head coach.
And I've been coaching 2 years as an assistant, and this year I'm filling in for Coach Carrie Miles, who's on maternity leave.
What made you decide to coach track and field?
I participated the first 2 years Katanning had a program in 2002. I did it as a junior and a senior in high school, and I've always run. Even since I graduated, I've been a runner, and when a position came open for an assistant my first year of teaching, I thought that I would apply, and I've been on ever since.
I was also a track and field participant. I did not go to Katanning, and I ran track my 9th through 12th grade year. I also was a jumper. Through college, I continued to run, and I actually developed into a distance runner. So when the opening became available, I thought it would be a good opportunity to teach some kids in Katanning what track and field's all about.
What experiences do you have personally in track and field?
As I said, I participated in high school, and I ran cross country all 4 years as well, so some of the distance events I have experience with.
That's same for me. I participated in high school.
So tell us about track and field.
Well, as the name states, it is divided into track events and field events. The track has 11 events with 3 team relays. The shortest event on the track is the 100-meter dash. The longest is the 2-mile run. And there are also 2 hurdling events on the track. For the field, there are 3 throwing events, the shot, the discus, and the javelin. There's 3 jumping events, the long jump, the triple jump, and the high jump. And there's also pole vault. So during a typical track meet, there's 18 events that go on throughout the course of a meet.
What do you expect from your runners?
We expect the runners to really work hard and have a positive attitude. It takes a lot of hard work to get your times down to where you want to go on to qualifiers or states. So I guess we just really want everyone to have fun and just work really hard.
I would say hard work and dedication as well. As Alyssa said, it takes a lot of time, especially as a sprinter, to get your time down even a fraction of a second. So it takes a lot of practice goes in to succeed.
So how do you train your runners?
Well, we started in January this year with conditioning. We had a nice turnout. It's the earliest we've started in my years as a coach. We did some calisthenics, abs, started building distance with some of the distance runners. We did aerobics. We met about twice a week. And as the season got closer, we started meeting more and intensified some of the workouts.
Do you have any specific types of workouts for runners at all?
For the distance runners, we do a lot of mileage. We do interval training. We try to do some speed work for the distance runners also. Generally, we do a lot of ours off track because the longer you're on the track, it's harder on your legs. So a lot of our work's done off track. And then the sprinters do a little bit of a different workout.
Yeah, they do a lot of practice coming out of the blocks, a lot of intervals where they'll run the straightaway or jog the straightaway and then sprint the curves. Occasionally they'll run up to a mile or 2 just for endurance. Repeat 100s, 200s, 300s. Workouts are usually shorter than what the distance kids do, but it's more intense.
So do you feel the kids enjoy the program?
I hope. I hope so. We do.
Yeah. Our numbers, we've been fairly steady throughout the years. We have runners that come back every year. They participate all 4 years of high school. So I hope they do. It seems like they do.
To you, what's the most rewarding in coaching track and field?
To me, seeing kids improve over time with the practice that they put in, it's nice whenever you can watch an athlete start as a freshman and slowly progress up to a senior. And when you see them put in that extra work and go the extra mile, that to me is rewarding whenever you see them meet success finally.
I think it's the positive attitude that all of our track and field kids have. They're very enthusiastic and they have a good time. So it's just really refreshing to be around kids and students that really want to do something and better themselves.
Now, I was told you have nicknames. Could you tell me what they are?
The kids refer to us as Mom and Dad.
Could you explain them?
Well, I guess we act like they're mom and dad when we're coaching. It was funny because when Kevin and I discussed this, his first, he sort of took it as not a good thing that we were called mom and dad, and I took it as a compliment because I am a mother and I know what I do for my kids, and I hope to think that my kids like me, but yet they know that I'm going to make them do the best that they can and, you know, work hard, and that's kind of how I took the nickname. And I'm motherly, I think.
As she said, I kind of felt bad whenever the name first started because I thought it was disrespectful to their actual parents. And they'd be yelling Mom and Dad around their actual parents on the sidelines, and I would just feel bad. But I think where it comes from is they know that we're going to yell at them, make them work hard. We praise their successes, encourage them to work harder whenever they fail. So in a sense, I kind of understand where it came from.
Katanning track has become known for breaking personal records. How does it make you feel knowing that there's record breakers on your team?
It's always nice to see an athlete break a record. It's fitting this year that Matt and Noel are both seniors, and they were able to break records this year. They've both been on the team for quite a while. I think Matt's done it all 4 years, and I think Noel as well. They work hard during practice. They're always willing to help the younger athletes and encourage them to do well and kind of show them tips and tricks on how to get faster. So to me, I'm very proud of them.
Same, yeah. It's fun to have them go so far and to see, you know, where they can keep going. So it's nice.
What would you say to encourage more kids to join the track and field team?
I really think if they would just give it a try. A lot of kids, because it's a newer program, they're unfamiliar with what track and field's all about. Where I came from, it was big, so everybody knew, everybody wanted to come out and at least try it. And if it's not your thing, then that's fine, but there's usually something that you are good at or that you enjoy, that you can help the team out in some way. So I always encourage kids, just at least come out, try it, see what you think, and go from there.
We're always looking for new faces. I always say that if the biggest obstacle we face is getting new athletes to just get up to the track and try out the events, because usually they're able to find something they're good at or something they like, and they'll stick around with it. Katanning's still really in its infancy with the program. Like I said, we've started in 2002, so this is the 11th year. We go up against teams that have been around since the 70s and 80s. So their programs have been there a long time, and they have that base.
I think, too, that the reason I continue to run in college and even as an adult is because of my coaches at track and field. I mean, they really instilled how to stay healthy and stress relief, and that all came about because of track and field. So I think I remember that, and that's why I want to teach the kids, you can run, you can do these things for the rest of your life. It's not something that you stop whenever you're an adult.
I agree.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Mr. Landstrom and Mrs. Miller. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Armstrong School District Education Today.
Before I came to IUP, I had no idea what college would be like or what role I would play or where I'd be in the future. But when I came to IUP, everything changed. I met people who really made me feel like I belonged. I had great classes at a great nationally ranked university. Hi, my name is Megan Miller. I'm a fine arts major, and this is my university.
We're back now with two students from Katanning High School, Matt Grafton and Noel Lemons, who are both members of the track and field team.
So, how long have you guys been running track?
I've been running all 4 years, but I actually had to stop my sophomore year halfway through because of a sprained ankle.
And I've been in track all 4 years as well.
What events do you run, and what are your favorites?
I run the 100, the 200, and the 4x1, and I also do long jump, and the 100 is my favorite.
And this year I have been running the 110 hurdles as well as the 300 hurdles. and I've been switching between the 400, the 4x4, and the 4x1.
Now, out of all of those, what is the most challenging to you?
Definitely the 200 for me.
For me, it's definitely the 400. It's a rough race.
Yeah. So how do you keep yourself motivated?
Every time I feel myself starting to get discouraged, I just think about losing and how I don't want to lose. So that's why I keep working hard.
And this year I've made it sort of a personal vendetta to get to states this year.
Did you make it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Describe one of your personal workouts.
Usually, we would always, like towards the beginning of the season, it was kind of lighter workouts, but recently, since it's getting closer to qualifiers and finals and stuff, Kevin has been running us a lot harder. We have a lot more interval training, and it's a lot less breaks in between our running.
I do the same thing as Matt.
Now, you're both record breakers this year, right? So what records have you broken, and what were your times?
I broke the record in the 100 meter with a time of 12.99. That was the only one I had.
And I've broken 2 records this year. I broke my personal hurdle record with a 15.3, and I hold the 400 record with a 52.8 seconds.
Now, track and field is one of the most high school largest sports teams. What do you think about all the groups of kids working together?
I think it's really nice to see a lot of kids come together and stay in shape and get that sense of teamwork because they're all just trying to do their best, and I think it's really nice to have a lot of people on one team.
And I like the larger team because it brings in different kinds of students and athletes, because whenever you have just one sport, most of the students they're all similar because of that one sport, but track and field you have throwers and sprinters and distance, so it brings together a lot more people.
So you've both been running all 4 years of high school. So what's your favorite track and field memory?
Mine would definitely be the bus rides to the meets. We have a lot of fun.
And my favorite memory is my good friend Ian Flieger one time fell over a hurdle, very first one at Burrell, and I thought he was doing so well until he fell.
Now, do you guys think you're going to continue after you graduate with track and field?
I plan to be a sprinter at Allegheny College.
And I plan on running at Penn State Behrend.
What would you say to encourage people to join the track and field team?
I would just tell them it's a great way to stay in shape, and the meets are so much fun. And everybody should definitely take advantage of the fact that Katanning has a great team.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I always enjoy going to away meets. I like the bus rides. I like all my friends, and I like advancing to finals and getting to spend whole days with people that I like being around.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedules. Our thanks also goes out to TV production students of Katanning High School, led by their teacher, Mr. Don Swanson. They were our film crew today.
Please join us again next week for another look at the Armstrong School District. DVD copies of all Education Today programming can be requested and contacted by Mr. Chris Garatano, multimedia technician at Katanning Junior High School. Visit our website for updated information about the district, and have a great week.
Welcome to Education Today. I'm Courtney Edwards.
And I'm Blake Davis.
Of Katanning High School in the Armstrong School District. Cell phones have become a huge part of everyday life, especially for students. With the increased usage of cell phones comes an increase in the number of potential consequences. Tonight, we are going to discuss the students' perspective on cell phone usage and their use while in school. With us tonight, we have 2 of our AHS-TV production students. Welcome to Education Today. Would you please introduce yourselves and tell us what year you are in?
I'm Lucian Holian, and I'm a junior
Katanning Senior High School.
I'm Kiara Ebig, and I'm a senior at Katanning High School.
Thanks. I just have some questions for you. How long have you had a cell phone?
I got my first cell phone back in 8th grade.
I got my first cell phone back in 7th grade.
Do you currently own a smartphone?
Nope.
Yes, I do.
I do not.
All right. Do you use your phone in school?
I try not to, but if my mom texts me and I have to pick something up, I will. Take it out, send her a quick message back.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I do use it from time to time. Not when this teacher is trying to explain something to me, but when, there's nothing really to do and I'm not paying attention really, yeah, I will use my smartphone.
All right. I think we all can say that we've done that.
Yeah.
Do you use your phone to help you in class sometimes? If you do, give me a few examples.
I've used my phone to help me in class sometimes. If, I get a question from my dad about something we're doing in Power Tech, but that's probably the only time. That was a one-time thing.
Yeah, I don't really use my phone in class for school purposes.
You never use it for like a calculator or anything?
No, I do. I use it for a calculator, but that's about it. I never really looked up anything for a test.
Do you think that it's fair that only some people can use them just because of the prices?
I think that if we are allowed to have cell phones in school, I don't think it would be quite fair because I'd be giving a higher advantage to kids that have smartphones compared to kids that don't. Kids without the cell phones would have to do more work and have to use more school resources than the kids with the smartphones. So I think it would be unfair.
It's true.
Would you please repeat the question?
Do you think that it's fair that only some people can use them in school just because of the price if we were allowed to use them in school?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't have much to talk about on that topic.
All right. Do you think that the use of smartphones could help you improve your grades if you were able to find different resources and like apps on your phone?
If I had a smartphone and I was able to look up questions and I was allowed to use it, I would. But I don't think it'd be fair to the other kids, but I'd still do it just to help myself.
I agree. I would do that too. But I do have a smartphone, but at the same time I don't do that, so.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with Armstrong School District's Education Today.
Before I came to IUP, I had no idea what college would be like or what role I would play or where I'd be in the future. But when I came to IUP, everything changed. I met people who really made me feel like I belonged. I had great classes at a great nationally ranked university. Hi, my name is Megan Miller. I'm a fine arts major, and this is my university.
We're back with Armstrong School District's Education Today. We're talking about cell phone usage in schools from the student's perspective. What are some reasons why students should not be allowed to have smartphones in school?
It would be a distraction. When the teacher's teaching, they'd take them out, be looking, playing games, surfing the web, instead of paying attention to what the teacher's saying.
I agree, and I feel that it's rude. The teacher's there to teach you and you're there to listen, and if you're playing with your smartphone, then how are you supposed to listen and give your full attention?
Do you think that the use of cell phones in school would help or hinder students?
They could help students. In school, they'll be able to look at questions, look them up if they're doing a book report and they don't have access to the computer at the time. They could look up information to help them.
I agree with that, but at the same time, what about the people who don't have smartphones and they don't have a computer at the time? Then what are they supposed to do?
Do you feel that more students abuse smartphones rather than help with their learning?
I can see it both ways. I have seen students using their cell phones a lot to help them in school, but at the same time, I can see students messing around on them.
I think that students mess around on their phones more than using them to help them in school. Like, would you rather go on Twitter or would you rather use a calculator?
If cell phones were no longer banned, do you think that students will still abuse their phones?
I believe that if cell phones were no longer banned, I believe there'd be more abuse of cell phones. There'd be no risk of losing your cell phone and getting it taken away. So there'd be more opportunities for you to abuse.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you're not allowed to, but at the same time, if you're not allowed to do something, then you're going to do it. But if you are allowed to do something, then it's not going to be something to not do, so you won't do it.
In order to keep up with today's society, do you think more school districts should allow the use of smartphones for educational purposes?
I think that in some classes, the use of cell phones would help, like physics or chemistry or some of the higher classes. They're faster than the computers we have in school.
I agree with that. And there also is a lot of sites on the computers at school that you can't go on that have more information. And on your smartphone, you can go on any site you want.
Well, that's our show for today. I'd like to thank our guest, Kiara and Lucian, for taking the time to talk us about the usage of cell phones in school. Our thanks go out to the TV production students of Katanning High School, led by their teacher, Mr. Don Swanson. They were our film crew today. Please join us again next week for another look at the Armstrong School District. Visit our website for updated information about the district, and have a great week.